ask you a question that revolves around coaching in general. When you look at kids, whether it's at the scholastic level or at the college level, and specifically at the college level, you're going to be picking, you're looking to recruit. What do you look for, or what's more important for you as a coach, talent or work ethic?
Well, work ethic is a talent. So it's, to me, talent is a pejorative word because talent is something you're kind of born with. I don't necessarily, if I was a player, I wouldn't want a coach to tell me I am talented because usually that comes with a but. Hey, you're talented, but. And that's been my experience with the word talent. So ultimately, we will recruit guys that have talent and are hard workers. So we will try not to recruit guys, if we can, who are talented. And if we know they are not a hard worker and we get that information, if we do our due diligence from talking to high school coaches, talking to as many people as we can in the process of researching these recruits, if we're recruiting a guy that's talented and not a hard worker, that's on us. And the chances of that kid finding the next gear when he gets to college doesn't usually happen, And I want guys that have talent that are hardworking, but the biggest thing I would like is guys that are reliable off the field, on the field, in the classroom. That is a type of talent for me, reliability. And you hear that phrase all the time. That's the best type of ability, dependability, reliability. That's the truth. We really believe in that. And I think hard work, reliability, being a great teammate, having the idea of putting other things before yourself, that is a talent that's valuable to us and to most coaches.
Let me build off that. Do you see a difference in kids figuring out or recognizing that work ethic really does matter? Do you think there's a difference between the scholastic level and then does it click in somewhere along the line in college, or is there really no difference?
I think the guys that get to the college level that last past the first year, they adjust their first year. The guys that don't last past the first semester or year, those are guys that haven't adapted to their new environment. And I think that's the key. The hardest environment as a student athlete will be your freshman year, first semester, because all your changes happen in your three domains. You have a social domain that's totally different. You have an academic domain now where you have classes, instead of every day, you have them twice a week or 3 times a week. Your professors you have a different relationship with them than you would have with your teachers in terms of, your teachers are kind of on your case. The professors are a little bit more expecting you to be professional and be adult about it. The guys that last past the first semester and the second semester, once you get them past those danger zones, what I call the critical period for a student athlete, first semester, second semester, that's the heavy lifting. And that to me, that's also the funnest part and the most rewarding about being a coach. I probably didn't answer your question, but.
Now, I want to just go back a little bit. You talked about being a great teammate, work ethic. What does that look like? If you're talking to Cody Bender in 2005, you're coming in and, or you're watching on a Friday night or on a Saturday afternoon, what does that look like to you? Because I think a lot of high school, junior high type players don't really know what those things, they say, okay, I hear the word, but I don't know what that looks like.
Body language. Here's the thing. PJ Fleck, head coach at Minnesota, heard him speak one time. He will put together, he won't do it, he will have his GAs put together a highlight tape of receivers, skill players, running backs, receivers. He'll take every touchdown the kid scores. He'll put it on a loop. What he wants to see is who's celebrating with the kid. If a kid scores a touchdown and nobody comes over to congratulate him, Minnesota is going to scratch that kid's name off their recruiting list because that to him is an indicator of not a great teammate. So how do your other players react to you when you're successful? How do you react to them when they're successful? Do you have the ability when one of your teammates, especially at the college level, off the field, is about ready to make a bad decision? Do you have the ability to step outside of maybe your comfort zone and pull him out of a bad decision that he may make? Or are you selfish enough to say, hey, that's not my problem? The reality is it is your problem because it could impact the whole team. So we look for body language. We look for leadership skills. I'll give you an example. I was recruiting a kid this year, a wide receiver. I went to see him play probably 6 or 7 times. There was one critical play. The team had called a timeout. The coaches came to the sideline, and I go to the games to watch kids. I don't go to watch them necessarily play. I can see that on film. I want to see how do they react to stress. I want to see how they react to their teammates. How do their coaches and teammates interact with each other? So the coach calls a timeout in a critical period, and the coach is calling a play on the sideline to everybody. And one of the guys' teammates that I was recruiting starts to go bonkers on the sideline, starts to lose it. The guy I'm recruiting grabs him, calms him down, talks to him, and gets him straightened out because they're in a critical situation now. It's third and long, deep in the game. When I saw that kid grab a high-level player, the guy he was grabbing and calming down, high-level player, also a college recruited student athlete. When I saw the guy that we were targeting, when I saw him do that, I knew we had the right guy. It was beyond this, and that's the stuff you won't see on the huddle tape. You won't see on the stat sheet. I had to drive, an hour and a half to see this kid do that. And once I saw that, I knew we had the right guy.
So on the flip side, what kind of things, just make you scratch them off the list? I mean, when you see it, what you talk about the body language, are they like Jay Cutler out there? What does that look like as well?
Well, the beauty of today's technology with social media, and the myth about me is that I'm anti-social media. Not at all. Just because I'm invisible on social media doesn't mean I'm anti-social media. As a college coach, to me, I'm an investigator, and people are leaving clues everywhere now. They're giving you evidence. It's all over social media. It's out there. All you got to do is reach out and grab it. So we'll look at the kid's Twitter account. We'll look at stuff that he posts. If there's questionable things on there, for example, alcohol advertisements, bad language, disrespect towards women, that's a big no-no. You investigate them, and you talk to their youth league coaches. Sometimes talking to their head coach is not enough because some head coaches will not tell you the truth. I had a NFL scout talk to me one time about one of my players, and it was a very difficult conversation because I had to tell the scout my opinion of the player. And the scout said, look, I appreciate your honesty because we need this information. And I think you have to be honest with people. If a high school coach, to me, doesn't give me good information about a kid, the next time I talk to him, I'm going to take that information with a grain of salt. So you have to be a good investigator. Body language is a biggie, but it's fixable. Body language is fixable. Decision-making is fixable. But if you're spending all your time and energy as a coach fixing things, when are you really developing the individual? Like you should be. Yeah, our job as coaches is to teach fundamentals and develop character in those things, but you have to start at a high enough level that you don't spend all your time as a coach putting out fires. And I've done that.